Welcome to another edition of Mortgage Mondays. Today we're talking about appraisals. Why did my appraisal come in so low? And to do that, we have a very special guest in the office, Helen Belsitis from Solidify, which is one of the biggest appraisal management companies in Canada. Thank you for joining us, Helen.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Helen, my first question to you is, how do we actually appraise a property? How do we get to a particular value? What happens behind the scenes?
Great question. So essentially, as an appraisal is ordered, before the appraiser even goes out, he actually does some pre-work on the property and is gathering comparables. At that point, he then will make the appointment, go to the property, visit for anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour, depending upon the property. At that point, he'll be taking notes, taking pictures, exterior, interior, of course, and all the while, he'll be following the guidelines for that particular lender. Then he returns back to his home office or office and would then complete the report utilizing software and making the necessary adjustments and commentary that's needed.
Thank you for that explanation. We've seen many times the value that we're expecting for a property to come in at, the appraisal may come in a little bit lower than that. Why does that happen?
Great point. And unfortunately, this does happen. And there's many reasons why this could happen, of course. So properties that are sold, a property can be sold for any value, but the bank, when they're evaluating a property, having it appraised, it's for risk purposes. For example, if there was this, pool house, or if there was all of these massive upgrades, or unfortunately, a bidding war, for example. So on occasion, what the house sells for and what it's appraised for could vary.
We've also seen circumstances where an appraisal has come in lower and the clients feel that the property is still worth the money. The real estate agent also feels that the property is worth the money. So if that's the scenario and we feel that the value should be higher, is there anything that can be done?
So that's a great point that you brought up. So if you did want to appeal a value, what you can do is work with your realtor, for example, and get those comparables that you feel are more representative of the price, and then share them with the appraiser to actually then get commentary and do what's called the value appeal and see if you can get closer to in line what you were looking for.
That's great. There's also circumstances where the value is not the issue, but there are other challenges with the appraisal that still end up killing the deal. We've all seen that happen in the past. What are some of these challenges that we have to look out for, Helen?
So again, great point. Some of the major things would be, for example, the condition of the home. So this could affect what's called the economic life. So essentially, if the home had older plumbing, wasn't upkept as well, this would then cause it to have a shorter economic life, which could then, of course, affect the lending aspect. Another factor could be if the property was used for commercial use when it was intended only for residential, and this again could affect the lending aspect.
Absolutely, and that's a very good point that you bring up, especially the remaining economic life of the property. Because if a client is taking a 30-year amortization on a mortgage, but the remaining economic life is less than 30 years, the lender is not going to do the deal. Thank you so much for your time today, Helen. It was great to have all this information, and we look forward to working more with Solidify.
Thank you.